Somebody knows the plan. Carol Ann knows the plan. It is time for In the Garden with Carol Ann. You have a full hour ahead of you of getting information about your lawns, your gardens, and everything associated with gardening. Your phone calls are important. It doesn't have to be a question. It can just be to say hi to Carol Ann and tell her how your garden is growing. Carol Ann Baldwin is a master gardener, in case you didn't already know that. And the phone number here to speak to Carol Ann is 622-9622. Good morning, Carol Ann.
Good morning, Larry. How are you this morning?
It was raining. I'm good. Is it raining out there now?
There was a couple sprinkles. I know I did feel some, and they are calling for a little bit of rain, so we need it.
And when we spoke to Galen earlier, he was in Ocala, and it was raining wherever he was.
Yeah. I know I felt a couple little sprinkles, but I think they're saying like 50-50 chance of rain, so 5 in 10 people get wet today.
5 in 10, yes.
5 in 10, that's a 50-50 chance. So, just watch out. If you're walking in a group of 6, somebody's not getting wet today. But yeah, we could use, even though we just finished with a summer full of rain, we've had a couple weeks without it, and if you really depended upon the rain watering your plants, you probably noticed it. I know I walked by a couple of smaller potted plants I have outside at my house. I went, oh, look, it hasn't rained in a while. You need to drink very seriously. And, they were already beginning to wilt because, they're going to dry out when they're all summer long. They're getting watered without thinking. You have told us before the answer to this question, I'm sure. But what is the tree that looks like it's going through a foliage but it's not? What is that tree? Oh, that's the golden rain tree. It's got like a pink thing going on? Right. Yeah, it changes, and hence the name golden rain tree is that they are very pretty, but they rain trees. Every one of those little seeds seem to sprout. Oh, is that why they call it a rain tree? Yeah, well, that's why we call it rain tree. But it does look like it puts that golden color and has an orangey tint. Yeah, it's our foliage. But we do have other plants that give us fall foliage too. We got the gum trees, the wild persimmon trees, your cypress trees will. There's a lot actually that'll change color. You have a phone call. Let's go straight to the phone. Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann. Thank you for calling.
Good morning, Carol Ann. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning.
No gardening questions. I like listening to Iron Butterfly every once in a while. How many people don't even know what it is?
Glad you like the theme song.
Yeah, it's like being in the shopping center and you hear Jimi Hendrix's elevator music. It's good to hear this. That's true.
That's true. True.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks. Yeah, that is one of those things that that or you're going along and you hit an oldies station and you're jamming to your favorite song and you're going, it's an oldies station now.
No, but don't you love when you stumble upon them? Yeah. You get tired of them quick or no? I get tired of them quick. I'll listen to maybe 15, 20 minutes. Okay, that's enough of that. Find something else. Start just do some station surfing. Yeah. But no, it's the back onto the a little bit of rain. I think they're calling that some of this rain. I don't think we'll get any of it. That are some of the remnants of Patricia that came all the way from the Pacific, crossed Mexico, Texas, Louisiana. Panhandle might be getting a little bit of the rain out of. Two storms that met up together. Two storms became one. And then, but the rain, I think they're saying we're getting may actually be coming from just a different kind of front. Just a different thing, yeah. Just rain. So this isn't part of Patricia. No. If you're on the West Coast, and I'm going to say probably further up. Some of it might be. Yeah, they are saying some of that may be a little bit of remnants or residuals out of that, just blowing some water in off the Gulf. So we need we could use a little rain, so we're never going to complain. Because even you look out across, and it looks like they've mowed recently under the 3 horses there, and the grass is not near as green as it was a little dry month ago. Yeah. So. Yeah, it counts a lot on rainwater. Going back to foliage, the leaves are falling. I mean, the neighbors are leaving piles of leaves out there to be picked up. Right. But why doesn't it turn the orange yellow colors like it does up north? Some of the plants just don't change. And it's not like far. That. You go right over the Georgia line, and there it is. Well, they're a little bit different plants for one, and that the temperature changes are a little more drastic. Our temperatures, our nighttime temperatures, are still very warm, actually. So that's the reason. It's actually
A reaction to stress. I always couldn't get the word reaction out. For the plant to have that color change, it's a change in the chlorophyll of the plant. It is more of a reaction to stress. But we do have several plants around, and I mislaid my list from last week. I had a few of them down, but the persimmon is one. Even the crepe myrtles have a little bit of color before they do. We do have a maple or a couple maples here in Florida that change colors. Some of your fall flowers are beginning to come out that we do it a little bit differently, but tropical plants just don't change color. And that's, we have some that are tropical. At least we do get a little bit of seasonal change where you get down south of Orlando and you are just in tropical plants that are just green.
It is interesting to look at the maps, though. It's almost like the nature knows where the state line is.
Yes,
it's just like follows that line just about.
Right on across the Panhandle and such like that. I think you probably get a little more, except there's a lot of pine up there.
Is.
That doesn't change. It's not one of those things that changes. But you drive through the Ocala National Forest. I think one of the links or one of the corridors they suggested of doing was the I-75 between like Tampa and Lake City. So going up that direction and those areas that you can find a little bit of color change. Or just park in the mall. You'll see the change of the tags.
I was tempted to drive.
Change the license plates and.
Oh, right, yeah. I missed the joke, but I was tempted to drive into Georgia just to see it. I thought,
I'll have to ask my daughter.
$20 or $30 a gas. Why do I want to do that?
I'll have to talk to my daughter. I haven't talked to her since she got back. They went up to Georgia for over the weekend to go camping, and
oh, really?
So we'll see what kind of fall color pictures they got.
Yeah. So my bananas, should I pick them yet? Should I get them?
Are they beginning to get any color?
I don't see any yellow yet at all.
Just keep waiting.
Really?
I don't know. Did we put it on the calendar? The date? Flip back.
You know what? I might have it on Facebook.
You may have it on Facebook. That's right.
I think when I first saw that, I'll look it up.
Look it up, and I think we were saying it takes 100 days or so. But that was.
It's got to be 100 days by now.
It's amazing how when you get counting, you go, oh wow, it's only 70.
That could be, yeah.
Even though where did the year go? We're now at the end of October and looking forward to spring gardening, or almost. We're coming into that time where we've got all our fall stuff coming in: pansies, petunias, snapdragons, sweet alyssum, sweet William, just all kinds of different ones.
And you have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Good morning. Hey, speaking about bananas, when should we fertilize them, and what type of fertilizing after the winter or whatever?
Okay, yeah, you're not going to fertilize them until early spring. I've gone with the 3-6-9. March, June, and September is your best fertilizer times for pretty much anything in our landscape. So once we're past our frost times, you put your fertilizer down, and just something that use on citrus or on other fruit trees. It's not, you're not going to find one that's labeled just for bananas, but most of your citrus fertilizers are going to have some minor nutrient in that's going to be beneficial to the bananas as well.
So would it be a low nitrogen and the rest of it high?
They're usually about a moderate nitrogen, because you figure banana tree it's all green. It's an herb, giant herbaceous plant. And that its flower, you're not, the citrus fertilizers usually it's like a 688. It's not a real high, not a real high nitrogen, because you don't want anything with a whole lot of nitrogen. It just forces too much green growth and not enough root and flowering and fruiting part.
Yeah, that's the problem. I got a bunch of banana plants, but I only have one that blooms.
Only one. Well, a lot of that too is the maturity of the tree, that they have to go frost free for a full year. Usually it'll take them approximately 18 months. So you're going from that plant coming up out of the ground to a mature enough tree without it freezing that first winter.
All right.
So that's usually our big problem. But in the springtime, throw some fertilizer on it, get it going real quick, and you may go ahead and force them to throw a bloom on there, and then you'll have your bananas.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So my first banana posting on Facebook was August 20th.
Okay, so September 20, October 20, you're only going 60 days. That's why I said it's
wow.
And because they are, it was late fruiting. I guess it's going to take.
You're right.
Longer.
It seems longer than it actually has been. Okay,
779. That's 35.
Sorry,
wrong button.
What did I do there? Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Good morning. Just sort of an odd observation, but driving up Highway 315, with the northbound from 40 over the forest, when you get to Northeast 90th Street, there's almost like a very clear dividing line. To the south of that, it looks like very young pine trees and all pines. And to the north of that, there are some very old oaks and really tall trees, and it's really a striking change.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that happens naturally or if there was a fire clearing or something, or it's really striking. I didn't know what you'd say about that.
It probably has to do with timber industry, that the pines were, pines may have been planted in. It could be at one point a fire, did take out some other things, in those areas, and the pines came back and took over, and that could be possibly on that, or like I said, usually a lot of it is timber industry, especially near the forest.
Okay, I can see where that makes sense. But another thing that I know that up north, one way of knowing if the ground has a lot of rock or ledge in it is that you'll have a lot of pine trees where the oaks and such that have deep roots won't go through. So I was wondering if maybe there's a lot of limestone in that area, or does that have any effect here in Florida?
I'd never heard that before. I'm really not sure, but I know we're pretty much on limestone. That's just pretty much what our topography is got a lot of limestone in it. So it's that is a possibility, but we do have some good oaks. We have a lot of sand, but we have limestone. That's where we have the when the sinkholes open up, it's because of a break in that limestone, and a cave-in basically occurs. So it's hard. I'm not real sure on that, on the geography on that, or the geology,
I
should say.
So maybe the oaks can pierce through the limestone, whereas I guess it's sort of obvious they're not going to be able to pierce through granite or any ledge that you might get up north.
Right. Yeah, that may be what it is on that. Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Carla, we have to take a little break, and we'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Clouds and a few intervals of sun today with a couple of showers, even a thunderstorm in spots, the high 80 to 84. It'll be mostly cloudy tonight with a passing shower or two, but mainly dry along the coast, the low 70 to 74. For tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sunshine with a shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon, the high 82 to 86. And for Thursday, partly sunny, high 81 to 85. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
If you're anything like I was, the thought of getting older was the last thing on your mind. But here we are. For me, it started slowly. The lack of energy. Never being in the mood. And when I was, I could never perform at my best. I tried the pills and other treatments with minimal results, and all but given up on my sex life. Then I found the doctors at New Male Medical Center. Wow, they made a new male out of me. Feel like I'm 25 again. I have renewed vigor, so much more energy, and no longer worry about my performance. New Male treated me like my situation was one of a kind. With a custom treatment plan that really works, I feel great. They can create one for you too. It does not matter if you suffer from low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, or just want to last longer. New Male will help you.
Call New Male Medical Center today at 352-404-4779. 352-404-4779. That's 352-404-4779. It will change your life. 352-404-4779.
Robin, let's try a little plant trivia. Name this nursery. It's a not-for-profit, and it teaches growing and caring for plants to their students.
Oh, that's easy. Kenny's Place.
Or how about this one? It's a nursery conveniently located between Ocala and Bellevue.
Again, it's Kenny's Place.
Or how about this one? A nursery with a wide variety of just what you need or want at the most reasonable prices.
Kenny's Place, of course.
Kenny's Place at 7677 Southeast 41st Court. Give them a call at 867-1213. It's a caring place for people and plants. It's Kenny's Place.
Cookies, 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 cookies.
When you want something special and fun for any occasion, get cookies. That's right. The Great American Cookie Company in the Paddock Mall, Ocala will make a delicious, fun-filled delight just for you. You might notice that I said fun and delicious more than once. That's because I can't say it enough. The next time you're at the mall, be sure and stop by or call 352-237-2557 to place your order.
Cookies, cookies,
Yum.
cookies, cookies. We go cookie eating cookies.
The Great American Cookie Company.
Don't get caught without your daily source of senior deals. Pick up your copy of the Senior Voice newspaper. It's your source for schedule and events tailored to seniors with information you need, like a list of free events in the area. We even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company to you that fits your needs. And all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about them. For more information, call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223. And pick up your copy of the Senior's Voice at most any business up and down the 200 corridor.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
22 minutes after 9 o'clock, Carol Ann Baldwin is here. The show is called In the Garden with Carol Ann. And if you have a question or just want to say hi to Carol Ann, the number is 222-9622. Do you know there's 3 planets that are lining up, I think, tonight or tomorrow night? Jupiter, Venus, and Mars.
Wow.
Okay,
So watch out. There might be
I'm not so sure.
Might be crazy people out, and the moon's getting pretty full, too.
So what is your thought on the astrology approach to gardening? Have you seen these articles? I mean, I don't...
The only parts of, I mean, it all goes with the moon signs and things like that.
Does it actually affect anything?
I've never really pasted out or checked it out or anything like that to see, but they claim they have it in the Farmer's Almanac. I've seen it written up. It's an old methods of planting that going astrologically as well is planting to where they different.
Did they look at more than the sun and the moon? Did they look at...
Yes, they looked at different positionings of planets and where the moon and sun were within the different zodiac signs and where those zodiac signs...
And that
goes within whether or not a crop would fail.
Was it superstition, or was there any real science to it?
I believe they feel that there's science to it. I'm not real sure, the full outcome. And some of that too is, how to, what time of the month or what time of the year to cut your hair to make your hair grow. What time of the would you dig the holes to plant the fence posts in so that that you have enough soil. Because if you've ever noticed digging a hole, you can dig a hole and fill that hole back in and sometimes run out of dirt.
You
run out of dirt.
Yeah, but it's not because there's a planet in the wrong place.
And I've seen it go
but not ways. Because there's a planet hanging out in the left part of the sky or something.
Or where the moon is in. I don't know. I'm not real good on that. But one thing I did, you guys handed me, and I knew about this the other day only because I am a master gardener. Want to give kudos out to our master gardeners here locally. The Marion County Master Gardeners, as well as others, gathered around the state for their 34th annual Master Gardener Continued Training Conference and Awards of Awards of Excellence. And 2 local master gardeners took home some really nice personal awards because weren't necessarily group related, but Master Gardener Luke Connor, who's also our president of locally here, he was named the Outstanding Florida Master Gardener of the Year, while Master Gardener Kathy Edenhofer was selected for the top place in the communications category, and hers was within maintaining our Facebook page. And
how can that trump you? You do a radio show.
Well, because I don't. And actually, we won the award for that years ago.
You did?
You can only win it. You can only win it.
No offense against her.
No, but we won the award on that.
Compared to the radio show?
Well, I had that award's already hanging up in the office.
You have one?
Yeah. Yeah, it was way back when the station was over and you weren't with OCA at that time.
I wasn't?
No. No, it was in between you, because you've been back and forth with them, haven't you?
Yeah.
But I did it, I'm trying to think, it was Bill Miranda and I had it.
Well, I've been doing this.
Verbal mass communication was actually
13 years I've been doing this particular one. So this is longer ago than 13 years.
So that was longer than 13 years.
It's about time you get it again.
Oh, it's been a long time.
It's about time you get it again.
But, no. Well, they tell you can only win it once.
In a lifetime? One time?
Because it's the verbal mass communications is what I won. And hers was under a different, I guess they changed the category.
Well, who did the verbal mass communications award this year?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I wasn't there. But they have but you can get into the Master Gardeners Facebook page.
You're avoiding it.
Yes, I am. Because you have to write up the thing and submit it yourself. So, yeah.
Oh.
But
next year.
Oh, maybe. I don't do a whole lot there as much as I used to now that I work full time and sometimes too many times.
Yeah, but a trophy would be nice.
No, I have the plaque on the. I'm just waiting for my 20-year.
What year is on that plaque? It's got to be 1940 or something.
No, I wasn't born then. But it's it was several years. It was years ago. No, I became a Master Gardener in '96. So I want to say it might have been 2000. No, I'm not real sure, but it was back when you had an audio cassette. Was what was actually recorded,
right?
Instead of a digital.
Yeah, I know.
Saving
I remember all the ways.
It was the audio cassette.
Oh, and that what you had to submit?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So that's how long.
But now you got a video. You're on every.
I'm on everywhere, but no, that's kudos to them. Congratulations, but. Even but folks who are not Master Gardeners can get into the Facebook page. If you're on Facebook, facebook.com/Marion County Master Gardeners.
Send them a nice, friendly, bless your heart message.
Right, there you go.
Bless your heart.
She did such a good job.
Well, next time consider Carol Ann, would you?
I would have to submit myself. Or submit it all in. But no, there's quite a few awards. Marion County takes home quite a few awards. Generally, one here or there, but once you've won an award in a category, you actually can't win again with that same type of submission kind of thing. So it wouldn't necessarily, verbal mass communications would have to go through a different kind of programming kind of thing. It would have to go, well, now it's on YouTube, but it would have to change the way it was done, not just a radio show. We had written mass communications many years ago for the pages that were done in the Ocala Star Banner, in the gardening pages in there, and we had them for our demonstration gardens, but you can only do one garden at a time.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Good morning. You're on there with Carol Ann. I think she needs an award.
Hi, good morning, Carol Ann.
Good morning. Yeah. What's up?
Quick question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I have in my yard a lot of sand spurs.
Okay.
And short of Roundup to apply everything and kill everything and wait for the sand spurs to come back.
Right.
And then dig them up. I really kind of come to a standstill what to do with them. Any suggestions other than that?
Let's go. We got the commercial news break here at the bottom, and I'll come back with that. Do you want to hold on?
Sure.
Okay, well, hold on. We'll be back.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll be right back. The commercial break should be about 3 minutes long. We'll be right back.
Radio. I'm Lillian Wu. In the D.C. budget fight, a tentative deal.
Republican House leaders reached the late-night budget agreement with the White House, putting off spending fights through 2016. The agreement, which gives the Pentagon and domestic agencies $80 billion of relief in exchange for cuts elsewhere, is expected to get a vote tomorrow.
Fox Radio's Rachel Sutherland. The rising number of homicides in our large cities, the focus of a police chief's conference in Chicago. The Attorney General and President are scheduled to be there. And the World Series kicking off tonight.
Let's
Getting a send-off from fans in Queens, New York, Royals fans are ready.
These are memories that we, as former players here, we really relish these moments ourselves.
Former Kansas City star Frank White at a rally last night. This marks the Royals' second straight World Series appearance. Fox News, we report. You decide.
You know the story of Hansel and Gretel, where Hansel left breadcrumbs on the trail so they could find their way back home? That's what you do when you use public Wi-Fi, or shop online, or give out your social security number at your doctor's office or the bank. You leave breadcrumbs on the trail for someone to possibly steal your identity and take everything you own. At LifeLock, we use proprietary technology to detect signs that someone has picked up your breadcrumbs to take what's yours. And unlike free credit monitoring services that only alert you, we have a dedicated resolution staff to help clean things up if all those breadcrumbs get messy. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses. But with LifeLock, you can keep doing the things you do every day and feel better protected. Isn't it time to help protect yourself from someone eating your financial lunch? Plans start at $9.99 a month. Right now, you can get 10% off. Go to lifelock.com and enter promo code NEWS.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
And it's bad thoughts about messing up or not being good enough that kill confidence. So tell yourself, you can do it. Blowing bubbles can help us fall asleep because it's like a deep breathing exercise helping to calm our body and mind. And since blowing bubbles feels silly, it helps the mind move on from worries that might keep us awake. So throw back some cranberry juice, improve your heart health within 24 hours.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Have you heard of Hyperdirectory? When looking for local businesses, go to hyper.directory. No need for www, no need for .com, just hyper.directory. Connecting customers to local companies when it matters most. Hyperdirectory is your local business directory partnered with the Ocala Chamber and Economic Partnership to bring you trusted local businesses. Keeping Ocala local. Use hyper.directory. No www, not even .com, just hyper.directory. Connecting customers to businesses when it matters most.
Coming live in concert, Matthew Smith and Indelible Grace, Sunday, November 15th, 6 p.m. Good night till then. At Grace Presbyterian Church, just down the road from Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens. Tickets are only $15 at the door, or get discounted tickets now at eventbrite.com. Or visit Grace Presbyterian on Facebook or call 629-1537.
All right, 27 minutes before 10 o'clock. Thank you for staying tuned, and thank you to our caller for hanging on during the break. And good morning. You're back on the air, Carol Ann. Good morning, everybody.
You there? Good morning. Yeah, okay, back to your Sandspray. You've got them throughout the lawn. Taken.
I think more so in the back than the front, but yeah, I think. Yeah, more in the back than the front.
More in the back than the front. What kind of grass is it?
It's a St. Augustine, some kind of and maybe something else mixed with it.
Okay. Because I was say they have the you're going after because what it is it's actually a sedge, and the sandspur is actually within the sedge family. And so if you used a product that would kill like the nut sedges and such like that, you should be able to get them knocked out with that. But also that
I use I have a 15-gallon tank that I have on a little cart that I put behind my my lawn tractor, and I spray it.
Okay.
And the bottle comes with it makes up about 15 gallons of water. You mix it with about 15 gallons of water.
Okay.
That's what I do. And I applied it once about a month ago.
Okay.
And it does seem to have knocked them down.
Okay.
But then the rest of the grass is also not growing as quickly right now as it normally does.
Right, this time of year. Sure.
Season.
Right.
So what do you think about me retreating it, or should I wait until spring?
I would probably wait until, I mean, you want to keep them, if you can, mow them off to where they're not making seed. But they are more of a summer annual, so treating in the springtime to stop the seed from, because usually many of those products will act somewhat as a pre-emergent, a little bit, or as soon as you start to see them coming up, is treating them then. When they're real little, hit it, treat that area again. If you've got it, more over in one area than another, spot treating those areas right now may help to at least knock them back, keep them from getting too strong in there. But again, this time of year, they're going to begin to die out for the wintertime anyhow. And then come back.
Do you recommend anything in particular?
Only thing I'm thinking of is any one of the ones, and I can't think of the chemical names. Would be one that's got a label on it with the nutsedge. That's more of a selective herbicide there. Stay away from the Roundup, because of course that's just going to kill your yard out.
That kills everything.
Yeah,
nutsedge, of course.
Yeah, and I mean, there's some folks that if you're looking to do something, of course, the vinegar kind of thing is also a non-selective, so that you can't just spray that across the yard either, but you can spot spray, realizing you'll probably damage or kill whatever else you spray near with that. Or just trying to maybe keep them knocked back. Like you say, the grass isn't growing a whole lot right now, and it is going to need to recover. You might, if you wanted to go through and hit them again, and then come back and maybe do a top dress across the yard with something like the black cow, or even just something like a Milorganite, and try to help that grass get a little healthier even this winter, or the soil get a little healthier. Not a whole lot, on the black cow or something like that. You're talking 1/8 of an inch. And then in springtime, start over and really get that nutsedge knocked back and get the health of the grass back up.
Well, as always, your advice has always been spot on and appreciated. So thanks for that.
Thank you.
I would like to make a little bit of a comment, if you don't mind, about something you guys were speaking of earlier about the Old Farmer's Almanac.
Yeah.
I'm a young man of about 61.
Okay.
And and I remember as a child, my father was he was a sharecropper.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you something. Along with the bag of Prince Albert, he always had in his pocket a Farmer's Almanac.
There you go.
And if there was a time like you guys were talking about, if the planets didn't line up, or the moon was in the wrong phase or something, and I think they had back then what they would call the edit function on it, where like if you missed it, you could go out and bury the 2 front leg bones of a stray cat under an oak tree, and it would change it. I don't know, but yeah. All of that stuff came back. I mean, it all goes back to the beginning of time where occurrences happened. Can you even imagine what it was like to see Halley's Comet for the first time flying overhead?
Oh, sure. That's just, it's one of those kind of the type of things that you don't.
The man said, right? Ugh.
Ugh.
And his wife said, "Shut up." Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Just was trying to flip through and see whether or not I could find the stuff that actually put forth some of the items that we were talking about on that, but I got to find the right section. Where's the astrology portion of your Farmer's Almanac, which I have to get another. Oh, that's astronomy. Wrong one. Find because you get the calendar, you get your planting dates. It's almost time. And actually, yeah, keep a lookout if you're looking for your Farmer's Almanac should be coming out. Well, here were some of these that your best days. I mean, if it doesn't go with things aligned with the moon and some of the others. Let's see. If you want to harvest, I don't know. Here, we're going to prune to discourage growth. And here it's coming into November, so that's going to be your next time if you were going to prune to discourage growth would be the 3rd and 4th of November or the 30th of November. But if you were going to prune to encourage growth, they're telling you that the 13th and the 14th are your best days for that. And all of these have, and I can't find the pages in it. Oh, here we go. Where different kind of items come in, and that's within the secrets of the zodiac.
Oh wow!
And it is in here. I'll have to look at it a little further to try to get it, and maybe next week we can talk about it a little bit. But that there are different ones that you to plant, transplant, and graft plants under the Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces signs, and those signs show up during each month or different quarters, not just that Cancer is June 21st through July 21st. It's throughout the season. If when you're harvesting in Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Gemini, or an Aquarius within those.
How many zodiac signs are there? 12?
12, yes. To control insect pests, plow, and weed, you do it in Aries, Gemini, Leo, Sagittarius, or Aquarius. So and all of these come into account with different things. That Aries represents the head, Taurus the neck, Gemini the arms. And it goes all through the anatomy of the human being.
Why are there 12? Why are there 12?
Because it's 12. There's 12 months out of the year.
But so the zodiac has only been around since Julius Caesar.
The 12, I don't know.
Well, I'm just thinking because Julius Caesar was the guy who added July and August. We had 10 months before him.
And it could just be that the amount of that they took, that whoever took and divided the year.
But there's 13 moons in the course of a year, right?
Yeah. I believe so. That's where we get the leap years every 4 somehow. I don't.
But October, OCT, means 8, but it's the 10th month.
It's the 10th month, right.
Because of Julius and Augustus Caesar, they
added
threw a monkey wrench into the spokes.
And they shortened each month and added, put their own stuff in.
Yeah, right. They made their own.
So
we had 10 months.
So I'm not real sure because even if you look at probably even if you get within some of the Chinese zodiacs are different as well because those are not based on the month you were born on, but the year that you're born in.
I wonder how many they have.
I want to say there's 12 of those as well.
12 of them as well?
I believe so.
12 is the magic number.
Because it doesn't, theirs does not run monthly. Theirs runs with a year.
Several years, okay.
Yeah. But it's all within that. It just, you take out of everything a little pieces of it.
Is it like that rod that finds water?
The divining rod?
Yeah, it's like it doesn't really find water. It's just there's water everywhere.
People who do the divining rods would argue that they can find water with them.
But isn't there water everywhere?
Not necessarily.
Really?
I mean, you wouldn't, that hit or miss. I mean, they go to dig a well and you may not hit water, but you can move over 50 or 100 feet and hit that underground stream. Because it's not water everywhere. No, we're not floating on a crust.
There's not water everywhere.
We're not floating on a crust of
seems like everybody has water.
Oh, we have water because we drill the wells.
My brother has a property in the desert.
Right.
And he has water.
Yeah, he had to go pretty far if he has a well or
he's got a lot of water. He's got a large, like a 3-inch pipe or something. A lot of water comes up. So he's going to change his yard is going to look like.
He's going to change the climate in the desert is what's going to happen. And they have done that in Arizona, actually.
Good morning. You're on the air. Are you there? No, nobody's there. You know what we've got to do?
Take a break.
Got to take a break while we're blowing the leaves off the sidewalk here. Yeah. We'll take a break and be right back. Got 15 minutes. Wow, this show went fast.
Yes, it did.
The phone number, if you want to call Caroline, is 622-WOCA. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Clouds, A few intervals of sun today with a couple of showers, even a thunderstorm in spots, the high 80 to 84. It'll be mostly cloudy tonight with a passing shower or two, but mainly dry along the coast, the low 70 to 74. For tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sunshine with a shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon, the high 82 to 86. And for Thursday, partly sunny, high 81 to 85. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Career Source Citrus Levy Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source Citrus Levy Marion and learn how they can help you.
We're saving thousands with Robert Palmer.
So rule number one is always shop around. Always shop around. If you're trying to get a mortgage, if you're trying to get the best credit card, if you're looking at student loans, cell phone bills, you name it, rule number one is always shop around. Always shop around.
That's rule number one, just one more vital part of fighting back to stop being a financial zombie. Yes, you can take the mystery out of the complicated world of finances. Take charge when it comes to your money. Listen in on The Source, 96.3 FM and 1370 AM, Saturdays at 12:05.
Attention homeowners, if your sinkhole case was denied during the past 5 years or repaired, but there was little or no money left to finish fixing your property, you may qualify to receive up to $15,000 through a sinkhole repair management program in your area. This government program is offered to owners who feel that their sinkhole claim was unfairly denied or repaired, but there was little or no money left to finish fixing their property right. For a free inspection and consultation, call Sinkhole Savvy today at 813-403-7809. 813-403-7809. That's 813-403-7809. Sinkhole Savvy.
Florida State looks to rebound from a tough loss to Georgia Tech last Saturday by welcoming in the Syracuse Orange in Doak Campbell Stadium right here on WOCA The Source, brought to you by Triangle Sales, your local Bud Light distributor in Marion County. Kickoff is at 12 p.m. this Saturday, Florida State versus Syracuse, right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA The Source.
12 minutes before 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in to WOCA The Source. You're listening to In the Garden with Carol Ann. Carol Ann Baldwin is your hostess. Master gardener Carol Ann Baldwin, who needs an award for this, I think. I mean, if you had one, it's got to be at least 15 years ago.
Yeah, so probably.
It's time to have another one.
Time to have another one.
I think so.
Just cut me out a little award out of the little smiley face.
Something.
Some smiley face sticker.
No,
or
trophy.
Like
a trophy, not a plaque. A trophy. So you were looking at the astrology things.
Yeah, right. Right.
Somehow got caught our fascination today. Oh, I have a question for you about sand spurs.
Okay.
Is the part that sticks in your foot and hurts you, is that actually a seed?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's why you want to try to keep them mowed off before they ever make those.
Because then they'll grow more.
Right, the seed, because if you mow them when they have those on there, you're just shooting those seeds across the yard. But so if here's another thing, if you're going to mow again and there are seeds, run the catcher and catch them up and get them all up and get rid of those ones. Don't throw that batch in the compost
pile. Are they everywhere on the planet?
In sandy areas.
Because I remember them at the beach in New York.
And actually, it might even be a thing. He might even want to have the soil pH tested. I have heard. I haven't looked it up here because to see that, but I have heard that it's one side or the other of the pH, and that he may actually be able to adjust that pH, and that will discourage their growth. There's just like dollar weed, we change our watering habits, and sometimes we can minimize our dollar weed issues. With the sand spurs, it may be a pH issue on that certain areas do have more sand spur than others, and like you say, sandy beach areas, they have a ton of it. And I'm not sure if that soil is again, I'd have to check if it's alkaline or acidic. So you might consider doing a pH test through Extension. I think it costs you $2 now. They do it once a month. You got plenty of time here this time of year. So just one other way of possibly tackling that is checking that. And if the pH is corrected, if it is off one side or the other, and you can get that corrected, that's also going to help the lawn grow better as well. So before you put manure down, before you put any fertilizers down or anything like that, is check that, have that pH tested, and see if that's, and let's go from there on that. So if you've got sand spurs, take a look at that.
Is that the only problem they present is to your feet? I mean, they don't mess with your other plants?
Well, no, but I mean, because it's weedy. They'll come up, and they are kind of annoying to your feet, to your knees, if they're coming up in your garden beds and things like that. They are competing for nutrient. They'll, if your grass is lacking, of course, it's going to take over areas. Yeah. And that usually is in areas where the grass is a little bit weak. And so I would look into the pH part of it as well. So hopefully he's still listening and takes a look at that.
Sounds like a lot of work to change the pH of your lawn.
It depends. It depends on which side of the spectrum it's on, which side of that level. If it's too acidic, we can put lime down, and lime will correct the pH rather quickly and very long term. If the ground is too alkaline, that gets a little tougher. That's harder to change for an extended period of time. It's moreover something that you would be working on a long-term basis, but usually adding compost, or in a lawn you're not going to necessarily add compost, but adding manures and things like that can a lot of times adjust that sulfur within the fertilizer. Might be a way of doing it as well. So I would have it checked and see how he can go from there. I'll look into it.
You got 8 minutes left in the show. If you want to call Caroline, the number is 622-WOCA, 622-9622. And by the way, we also have a $20 gift certificate to Baldwin's Camellia Gardens and Nursery. It's for plants only.
Right.
But we'll give that away toward the end of the show as well.
Sure. And you're coming into a real good time this time of year for planting shrubbery and things like that. You can go ahead and put in anything container grown, can be planted year-round in Florida, but here in fall and again in early spring are real good times because you don't have that stress of the hottest part of the summer. Usually your hardy shrubs, putting them in now, we're not too cold yet. We're not going to get extremely cold for another couple months. You do have to water on your own, but that's okay because then you're not getting so much water that you're causing either root rot issues or anything. So if you're looking to change out some of that landscape, and it's a little bit cooler, so again, not quite the amount of stress. They're not trying to actively grow, so they're more actively growing a root zone. When you're, any plants that you're going, you pick a 2-gallon pot, and I like to plant 2-gallon pots or even the 1.5 2-quart plants because I don't like to dig big holes, and if I don't have to dig a big hole, it's going to be. It's going to be better. Security wandering around here. I didn't do it. And you take them out of the ground. Work those roots out good. Make sure you're giving them the best start that you can. I've had people kind of chuckle the way I will plant smaller plants is that I will take and work those roots out, pull that apart, and when I put them in the ground, I actually even give it a little twist. So it's like they never saw somebody screw a plant in the ground before. But they take hold, and I think what it is I get that root zone that it spreads it out a little more. It gives it a chance to put those roots out further and get a good start. And that's your biggest thing is get your plants a better start, and they will give you a longer life on that. On the opposite side of that, when plants are starting to decline. Watch for that. There's not a lot you're going to do if the plants are becoming to the end of their life cycle. We'll say some plants, you'll say, well, my neighbor has a plant and that thing's got to be 25 or 30 years old. Mine have only been in the ground for 5 or 6 years. It could be who planted it, when did they plant it, what's under there, what kind of care did you put it in, or did a landscaper put it in, or did they put it in when they built your house? There's a lot of different causes of why plants can decline, and we might even get into some of those tomorrow, because I know you got to be hunting for a trivia question here pretty soon. Are you?
No, I have one.
Oh, okay.
I have one.
Cool.
So, is it because I look distracted?
Oh, something like that. Well, we got all kinds of distractions.
I'm just trying.
Well,
there was a few things that happened on the screen. I thought we were getting phone calls, but we're not. So,
okay.
Yeah, that's what was. No, I had the question.
Okay, cool.
Are you ready for me to deliver the question?
Sure.
All right. So this is a way to reward those who were paying attention in the first part of the show.
Okay. Cool.
Are you ready?
All right.
All right. So in the beginning of the show, I asked Carol Ann, "What is the tree called that looks like foliage?"
Right.
And then you told me what it was.
Right.
It was a pretty easy to remember name.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
I thought. And so if you can call me right now and tell me what that tree is.
Tree that was.
And if you weren't listening and we don't get a call, what we'll do is we'll try to kind of have that conversation again without telling you.
Without telling you what it is.
But there's a $20 gift certificate to Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery waiting for you if you can answer that question. What was the tree Carol Ann identified in the beginning of the show as the tree here in Ocala that has this, is it pinkish kind of a flower?
It's a pinkish, it's yellow.
Sort of looks like foliage.
Yeah.
It's not really, but.
Well, actually, yeah, I guess it isn't. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's just a change in its foliage or it gives you a fall color is what it this time of year you're seeing it as one that's offering.
And what color would you call it?
They start out at golden in color, but go to that peachy orangey color to it, and they drop seeds.
They drop seeds. That's another hint.
They do drop seeds
because that's a way to remember what it's called,
or at least the reason I call it that.
Okay.
And people do look for those in garden centers, and it's like, why go in your neighbor's yard, reach under the tree, and yank one out? You can get one.
Oh, really?
Because of how many seeds that drop, and there's also an insect pest that's attributed to them as well that eats these seeds, and it's the Jadera bug, called the Baba Baba tree bug.
The Baba Baba tree bug.
Baba Baba tree bug, or a box elder bug also. But they feed on the seeds. They're more of a nuisance than an actual pest. You can grab your shop vac and suck those things up when they get on the garage wall and things like that. But I can't believe anybody has not yet come up with that tree.
You might have some taker here. Good morning. Do you know what that tree is called?
Hi. Is it a golden rain tree?
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yes.
Good job. All right. So you've got $20 to Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery. What's your first name?
Sally.
Sally?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Sally, do you know where we are?
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, you have a $20 gift certificate waiting for you from Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I won't go buy a golden rain tree.
No.
Sounds like you don't need to. It sounds like you can just go pick your neighbors.
Yeah, you can go get one out of the neighbor's yard.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sally.
Yeah.
There you go.
Bye.
But that's one of those plants. It is one of those. It's a pretty nuisance as a plant, and I personally wouldn't plant them. A lot of times people say, well, they're not a nuisance in my yard, but that's because you're keeping them mowed. But birds and things like that will also feed on the
I bet I have some. There's some near me.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch.
I'll have to go see if I could pick one out, and I don't know what I would do with it. I mean, I
yank one out of the ground and stick it in a pot and say.
Oh yeah, make it a potted plant.
Yeah, they get big.
They get big, so that wouldn't work as a potted plant.
No, and they're still going to spill seeds on the ground if they flower. When they flower,
will they flower? Can you keep them small, like a bonsai?
I don't know. I bet you could. That might be something interesting to try.
Bonsai rain tree plant.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're at that point where we need to say goodbye.
Unfortunately, another Tuesday is done. But everybody have a great gardening day.
Where's your song here? I don't know. This is not Iron Butterfly.
Well, this is Stan Spencer.
It's a Stanley Spencer. It is not. It is an Iron Butterfly song. Or
it was.
He changed the words.
Right. And changed actually a little bit of the. Not much.
I don't hear anything. Thank you, Carol Ann. It's always fun.
Thanks, Larry.
All right. I'll keep my eye on the Zodiac.
There you go.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM.